It is winter, and if you are trying to wear a mask along with your glasses, you are probably running into the same fogging problems that the rest of us are seeing. But we've got solutions for you in this Haas Tip of the Day, Toolbox Edition. For those of you that have played paintball in the past, you know that a fogged up mask is the absolute worst. And when you're playing paintball, you can't just take that mask off for obvious reasons. Okay, so here are some of my antique paintball masks here from the late 1980s here. We used to use a regular Z87 mask. It was just terrible, fogged up, something awful. And to keep it from fogging, we might have a no-fog cloth, or we'd have some anti-fog spray we put in there. It didn't work for long. You're running around sweaty. Wasn't the best. Now this was back in the early 80s, mid 80s. By 1985 and forward, we had these nice masks like this classic JT whippersnapper. A single pane glass in there, and these things fogged up something terrible as well. So what we started doing was adding fans to our mask. Now this is a Vortex 2 by JT, and it's an actual fan. You flip the switch, zzz, it pushes air on the back side of our lens and keeps it from fogging up. And those solutions worked. We used the fog sprays when we had to. We moved on to the fans, which worked really well, but they were actually loud. And then the real solution for paintball came along, which was thermal lenses, kind of like a thermos or a thermal cup, 2 panes of glass. And so that worked really well, keeping the condensation at bay. So I say all of this just to say that I hate fogged up masks, and I've spent 30 years thinking about it. So when 2020 came around, I was prepared. Our glasses are fogging up because the warm breath is making its way past the bridge of our nose to our colder glasses, and we get condensation. We get fog on our lenses. Now we've got a couple solutions here that are going to absolutely prove that that's the root cause of our problem. Now these guys, these MaskTite adhesive strips, are amazing. You put them on the back of your mask, you stick it on, you adhere that right to your cheeks here, and it makes a perfect seal. No air is going to get by, and immediately, just like that, our fogged up glass issue is solved. Now a second solution that I like quite a bit better are these foam molded adhesive-backed spacers. Really comfortable, really easy to put on. They last really well, and they do the same job. Now they're not cheap. They're about 20 cents each. So if you change them out every day, that's about $1 a week. But I kind of like these a lot better than the regular adhesive strips. Much more comfortable. You don't have to think about them at all. Now, going on beyond that, you want to make sure you've got a mask that has a bendable wire to allow you to conform the mask to the bridge of your nose. But even with that, I don't know if it's my face or what have you, I can't ever get a good seal with a standard mask, even though it's got the wire. But they've got a solution for that. They have these extensions here that you can place on the elastic cords of the masks. And just adding a tiny bit of tension to the mask holds it up against the bridge of your nose and keeps the air from getting around that nose. Solves our fogging problem. So we've got 3 mechanical solutions here that really got to the root of the problem, and I like all of them. You'll just kind of have to find out which one works best for you. Moving on from those guys that solve the root problem, we've got the anti-fog sprays. But this particular brand was not good for glasses that have anti-reflective coatings on them, AR coatings. And it just goes on really thick, it doesn't like it, it might mess up the coatings. So if you're gonna go with a fog spray, make sure you get one like this that says it's safe for use on all lens types. And that usually is referring to those AR coatings. You spray them on, you have to wait for it to dry, it has to be put on very evenly. If it's put on too thick, it's like looking through a stained glass window. If it's put on too thin, then you get fog, it doesn't work. And in a machine shop environment where you might be cleaning your glasses often, I just don't care for the fog sprays. They're not my first choice. These other mechanical solutions are my first choice in a real shop environment. So those worked really well. Now, I've got prescription glasses, so I'm going for the mechanical solutions. If you don't have prescription glasses, then you might be better served with a standard set of Z87.1 safety glasses. Now, these have a fog-free, no fog coating built right into them, and they work fantastic. I used these last week on a couple cold mornings, and without any of these other products, they didn't fog up. So these are great. Reading the reviews, a lot of them say that the anti-fog coatings still wear off, though. They might only last a month or two, so don't buy a terribly expensive pair, or just be careful how often you clean them, because these might wear out as well. So we'll link to all these products in the description of this video so you can find them and find out what works for you. And if you've got something that you're using now that we didn't talk about in this video, or that we did talk about in this video, leave a comment. We'd like to hear what's working for you. Well, that is it. And thanks for watching this TOD Toolbox.